What's up, everybody? Welcome back to this edition of Max Monday Morning Quarterback for Week 2. We're going to dive into the Indianapolis Colts, starting on the offensive side of the ball. Obviously, one of the better performing teams throughout 2 weeks of the NFL. Getting it done with a lot of Daniel Jones performing well from the pocket, Jonathan Taylor running the ball well, leading the league in yardage, of course, and Shane Steichen putting this offense to good use and good positions with his scheme as well. So let's jump right into it from a clip aspect, and we'll start kind of talking about the first one that I think does a good job of encapsulating what the threat of Jonathan Taylor married with the scheme of Shane Steichen can present to defenses. Here you're going to see Tyler Warren run through that A gap coming out of the backfield from that fullback alignment. The linebackers press up. He continues on to the opposite field where he's running that kind of corner sail route, and ultimately Daniel Jones is going to hit him right in stride. And this is a really good route from Tyler Warren, and a highlight of why he was a first-round NFL draft pick with everything that he's doing at the tight end position so far. But B, again, very good design to use the ability of Jonathan Taylor's rushing attack against the linebackers from the Broncos. You're going to see them step up from the second level. Warren is going to fly past them through that A gap and ultimately get a step on them on that corner route. And Daniel Jones is going to put this on the money as well. Get the play fake. Linebackers are sucked in. Tyler Warren up through that A gap, able to run right past him at the second level on the money to Tyler, and a really good pass from Daniel Jones. And again, that's great design by Shane Steichen. Really good play action fake to Jonathan Taylor and the threat he possesses. And then you go ahead and get a chunk play off of it as well. But it's not just the play. It's not just the play action. It's not just the play design. It is also the ability for Daniel Jones, who's been very good, in my opinion, at standing and delivering within the pocket over the middle of the field on a consistent basis throughout these first 2 weeks. Here you're going to see them set up. Alec Pierce is at the top of the screen attacking against man coverage one-on-one with Patrick Surtain. They're going to have a robber in the middle of the field. They're going to send a five-man pressure that ultimately does collapse the pocket around Daniel Jones, but doesn't bother him enough for him to throw this ball on the money, low and inside to Alec Pierce for the nice little kind of slant, shallow crosser, whatever you want to kind of call it, to be able to get this, get this completion here for the first down. Again, really good job, by Alec Pierce being able to create a little bit of separation versus Patrick Surtain, and then Daniel Jones hanging in the pocket. Pocket collapses around him, puts the ball on the money at the right time to Pierce for the completion. And I really do like this wide receiver core. They have a lot of complementary skill sets with Pierce as a deep ball guy, and also can make a little bit of physical catches over the middle of the field. Josh Downs and his ability to run away from players, whether it is kind of on those deeper routes, some of those deeper crossers as well, and he's really explosive as well. Michael Pittman Jr. is kind of the solid, steady aspect of this, and we saw that in the first week. A.D. Mitchell also adding to the depth of the wide receiver room. And then Tyler Warren and Jonathan Taylor are excellent combinations of threats at the tight end and running back positions as well. But it all comes together when Daniel Jones is staying in the pocket and true dropback situations, delivering over the middle field like here. And in this circumstance, you're going to see Josh Downs be able to separate from the inside, run away from that corner on that crossing route, and just ultimately Daniel Jones once again. Back foot, pressure on his face, still being able to deliver this. You're going to see gets an inside loss from one of his interior offensive linemen in the center there specifically. That muddies up the feet around his pocket, and he's still able to slide a little bit out of the way, using some of that athleticism we know he possesses in the run game, but specifically showing it as far as what he can do in a quarterback's aspect within the pocket, and being able to have a guy in his face, put the ball on the money to the Downs on this crosser route deep. Again, the ability for him to continue to get to the intermediate areas of the field over the middle of the field was something I thought was an issue for him at the Giants. He looks more comfortable doing it here with the Colts, and Shane Steichen is putting him in position to succeed, and he is rewarding him accordingly. So shout out to the Colts offense. As long as Daniel Jones can continue to do these things, they're going to be a dangerous team overall, but certainly an offense that presents a lot of problems given the weapons that they have and how good Jonathan Taylor is on the ground and Shane Steichen designing this offense. With that being said, I do want to flip to the other side of the ball, because it's not just the offense and why they are 2-0 at this current moment in time. They got Lou Anarumo, who was somebody that I talked about during the Colts preview that I was really excited to watch with a veteran back end of this secondary and put them in positions to succeed, and the ability for him to attack play action or pass protection rules in addition to confuse quarterbacks over the course of a game. So you're going to start out here. You're going to see that they're going to get into a little bit of a standard look, and then all of a sudden they're going to shift into a mugged up look where they're going to have guys lined up along the line of scrimmage, kind of amoeba front, and be able to present, hey, Bo Nix, we're going to be coming after you. And Bo Nix is like, all right, I got to shift. Now I know my mind is going to be sped up here. I got to be able to get the ball out of my hands. They end up sending all of these guys as well, get a free runner in his face off the edge, tries to throw it quick to Cord Sutton, and ultimately it's not open. So guess what? Later on in the game, Lou saying, all right, we're going to come with another double mug look here with both linebackers lined up in the A gaps. We're going to have these guys on the line of scrimmage look like we're going to send pressure. Guess what we're going to do at you? Then we're going to drop those guys out, have a regular four-man pass rush, force you to try and read it out ultimately. He tries to go to this crossing route to Cortland Sutton and just airmails it a little bit with 90 showing and flashing across his face in the process of trying to deliver this ball. Really good job. Again, four-man pass rush, create those one-on-ones to still be able to get after the quarterback, bring a little bit of pressure and all that. And that's all needed just to be able to commit on the back end. Cam Bynum does a really good job of being able to make this dive and catch for the interception as well. And, of course, he added the celebration with the Colts mascot. Finally, last one here on a 2nd and 24. And again, this is a situation, a classic Lou situation that you saw with the Bengals. He likes to drop out 8. But again, the way that he gets to it here is the important part. Again, mugged up look, presenting the illusion of pressure immediately. And instead, not only does he drop out the 2 linebackers, then he also drops out the 2 guys flanking him at the defensive tackle positions and ultimately sends a guy off the edge to be able to try and create a running back one-on-one to try and get a free rusher. Running back does a solid job of still picking it up ultimately, but just that look alone makes Bo Nix try to slide and get rid of the ball quickly because he feels like he's a little bit sped up from that aspect. So ultimately, you drop 8 guys into coverage, only send 3, but it gives the illusion of pressure to the quarterback, and that's what the speeding up process that you can create if you have a really good defensive coordinator that has a really good pass rush plan to be able to confuse what the quarterback is looking at pre-snap versus post-snap. He throws the ball, ends up getting tipped, and that's all she wrote for the drive as ultimately they get to a 3rd and 34 and off the field. So these are the things that I thought Lou was going to bring to the table because of the veteran talent on the back end of the secondary for the Colts. And you can see he's comfortable implementing these things early, and I think you only see more of this as the season goes on. The Colts are in the playoff race. They will continue to be in playoff race, in my opinion, as long as Daniel Jones plays at this level, because the talent around Daniel Jones on both sides of the ball is really good, and I'd like to see what they continue to do for the rest of the season, man. Thank you guys so much for coming to Max Monday